What's up, middle school crew? Cheyenne Davis here to celebrate our last series of Undefeated with you. Happy Easter week. As you can tell, I'm on my front porch today. I have my neighbor who is mowing beside me, and I have someone sawing something big over here in this distance. So if you hear strange things, this is our life now. We are in quarantine, but I am happy that we just get to celebrate these moments with you on our last series of Undefeated. Our first question is this: have you ever had a moment in your life that you never wanted it to end? Maybe it was your last football game of the season. Maybe it was your last softball game of the season, baseball, soccer, tennis, track. We've all got to experience some lasts here lately. And I bet, even though maybe some of you don't want to go back to school, I bet when we got the news that we might not be going back to school this year, that some of you were sad because there were some good things that you really wanted to finish and do. I actually had one of those moments this past Saturday. One of my most favorite things to do in the entire world is eat. I love to eat. And not just any kind of food. My favorite food to eat in the whole world is crawfish. And now, if you've never had crawfish is one of those things that you have to eat with a really big group of people because they're tiny. You just have to buy a lot. You have to eat a lot. You have to cook a lot. But because we're on quarantine, I got 30 pounds all by myself. And yes, I had Matt's help, but for the most part, I got to eat all of that all by myself in one day. Saturday was the most perfect day ever. I got to cook with my kids, Kanan and Addie. I get to hang out with my best friend, who's Matt. And it's just one of those days that if it went on forever, I would have been okay. I didn't want it to end. But as all good things do, it came to an end. And I got a chance at the end of the day that I could either focus on the fact that it was over or focus on the fact that this possibly just the beginning of good things coming our way. And isn't that true in all of our lives? When things are over, it's really easy to focus on the ending. And it's really hard to look past the ending and see that perhaps the best is yet to come. You know, I think that's why so many people don't like talking about Easter, is because to get to the resurrection where Jesus is alive and restored and new, we have to talk about Jesus dying on the cross. And that those moments were moments where he was being yelled at, bullied, beaten. No one likes to talk about that. But it's an important part of the Easter story. Not because death needs to happen to be experienced, to be able to experience amazing things. It's more of a metaphorical thing. Because I think there are some things in our life that maybe could experience an ending. But that doesn't mean it's over. In fact, it always means that God is going to make something new with whatever has ended, just like he did with Jesus. On the day that Jesus died, everything was dark, it was sad, and it was confusing. It really makes me think about when I got the news that everything was shut down for the coronavirus. It was March the 12th. I'd already gone to the grocery store and things were empty on the shelves. And then I got the news that I wouldn't be able to go to my church that I'd been to every day for the last 9 years on a Sunday. And the day was dark and it was confusing. And it was really easy for me to get sad. But then I thought, what an amazing time for something like this to happen. Because as we journey towards this weekend, this is Holy Week, by the way, as we journey towards Jesus on the cross and Jesus being raised from the dead, it is a perfect time for our current crazy dilemma because it's easy to focus on the darkness. But I'm here to tell you that when Jesus died on the cross, darkness did not overcome the world then. And through Jesus, God made something new. And even though we're really tired of being at home, we're really tired of hanging out with our family, and sometimes the days are dark and it is confusing, because of Jesus, God has promised that we will always be undefeated, no matter what our life looks like, because through Jesus, nothing can defeat us, even when good things have ended in our lives. He's here to promise us that through Jesus' resurrection, that he will make all things new, and he will do a new thing in our lives. Our scripture today is Romans chapter 8, verse 11. And it says this: "The Spirit of God, who raised Jesus from the dead, lives in you. And just as God raised Christ Jesus from the dead, he will give life to your mortal bodies by the same Spirit living with you." So what that means for this time, for me, is this, is that while we're isolated from our friends, and sometimes our grandparents and our aunts and our uncles, it's really easy to feel alone. But this season, Holy Week, Easter, is a reminder that even if we are physically alone, we are never spiritually alone. Spend time with God. Learn about Jesus. Celebrate that Jesus was resurrected with us on Sunday. And remember that through Jesus and everything that he went through, we can live an undefeated life. I can't wait to see you again, hug you, high five you, whatever it may be. We miss you, but we are with you. And through Jesus, we will always be connected and undefeated. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. Happy Holy Week. Bye.